Formula One. It's the pinnacle of motorsport, a high-speed ballet of technology, talent, and nerve. But how did we get here? From dusty city-to-city races to the hybrid hyper-machines of today, this is the story of Formula One's evolution. In the next 10 minutes, we'll take you on a journey through more than a century of racing history. So buckle up. This is your fast primer on Formula One. Chapter 1. The Origins of Motor Racing. Before Formula One, there was just the automobile, a noisy, unreliable, and thrilling new invention. In the late 1800s, the best way to prove your machine was the best was to race it. These weren't races on pristine tracks, but grueling city-to-city trials across Europe. The 1895 Paris-Bordeaux-Paris race is often considered the first real motor race. The goal wasn't just speed, it was survival. Finishing was a victory in itself. These events captured the public's imagination and sparked a competitive fire among manufacturers. Then, in 1906, France organized the first ever Grand Prix. The term, meaning Grand Prize, set a new standard. Held on a closed circuit of public roads near Le Mans, it featured a massive 103-kilometer lap. This event established the template for future racing. A dedicated course, multiple laps, and a focus on pure performance. The age of organized motorsport had begun. Through the 1920s and 30s, rules and circuits began to standardize, and the cars evolved from modified road vehicles into purpose-built open-wheel racing machines. The stage was set for a premier single-seater category. Chapter 2. The birth of Formula One. The year is 1950. The world is rebuilding after war, and motorsport is ready for a new beginning. On May 13th, at a former RAF airfield in England called Silverstone, the FIA Formula One World Championship is born. The formula was a specific set of rules all competitors had to follow, defining engine size and other key parameters. The grid was dominated by established Italian giants. Alfa Romeo, with its powerful supercharged Alfetta, was the team to beat. But a new challenger, Ferrari, was eager to make its mark. The drivers were heroes, wrestling these powerful machines with little more than leather helmets and goggles for protection. Men like Giuseppe Farina, the first world champion, and Alberto Ascari became household names. But one driver would come to define the decade, Argentina's Juan Manuel Fangio. His incredible car control and tactical genius earned him 5 world titles with 4 different manufacturers, a record of versatility that remains astonishing. In this era, safety was an afterthought. Tracks were lined with trees and buildings, and driver fatalities were tragically common. Speed was everything. Chapter 3. The Mid-Engine Revolution. For the first decade of F1, the blueprint was simple. Put the biggest, most powerful engine you could find at the front, and the driver at the back. But in the late 1950s, a small British team named Cooper had a radical idea. They placed the engine the driver. This was the mid-engine revolution. Why did this change everything? It was all about weight distribution. Moving the engine to the middle created a more balanced, nimble car. It could turn into corners faster and accelerate out of them more effectively. Suddenly, handling could beat brute horsepower. In 1959 and 1960, Jack Brabham won the championship in a Cooper, and the formula for a winning F1 car was rewritten forever. By the early 60s, every team on the grid had adopted the rear-mounted engine design. This era also saw pioneering work from teams like Lotus, led by the brilliant Colin Chapman, who introduced the first monocoque chassis, a single stressed skin shell that was both lighter and more rigid than traditional frames. F1 was entering the modern age. Chapter 4. The Aerodynamic Arms Race. The 1970s brought a new, invisible force to the forefront of Formula One: aerodynamics. Engineers discovered that by shaping the car's body, they could manipulate the air flowing over it. The first simple wings appeared in the late 60s, acting like upside-down airplane wings. They generated downforce, a vertical force that pushes the car onto the track, dramatically increasing grip in corners. This led to an aerodynamic arms race. Then, Lotus unleashed a game-changer: ground effect. By shaping the underside of the car like an inverted wing, and sealing the edges with sliding skirts, they created a massive low-pressure area beneath the car. This effectively sucked the car onto the tarmac. The result? Mind-bending cornering speeds. The Lotus 79 of 1978 was the benchmark, a car so dominant it seemed to be racing on rails. But this new speed came at a high price. The technology was poorly understood, and if the aerodynamic seal was broken, a car could lose all its downforce in an instant, leading to terrifying accidents. The 70s were a decade of incredible innovation, but also one of immense danger. Chapter 5. The Turbo Era. If the 70s were about cornering grip, the 1980s were all about raw, untamed power. Welcome to the Turbo Era. Small 1.5-liter engines boosted by massive turbochargers were producing unbelievable horsepower. In race trim they made around 800 horsepower, but for a single all-or-nothing qualifying lap, teams would turn the boost pressure way up, creating special qualifying engines that produced an astonishing 1,400 horsepower or more. These engines were so highly stressed, they would often last only a few laps before grenading. These cars were monsters. They suffered from huge turbo lag, a delay between the driver hitting the throttle and the power arriving, making them incredibly difficult to drive. At night races, they would spit huge plumes of flame from their exhausts. This era also saw the rise of electronics and the beginning of one of sport's greatest rivalries, the intellectual, calculating Alain Prost versus the fiercely passionate and naturally gifted Ayrton Senna. Their battles on track defined the late 80s and captivated a global audience. Chapter 6. Safety and Materials. The tragic death of Ayrton Senna in 1994 sent a shockwave through motorsport. It became a catalyst for a relentless push for safety that continues to this day. The key innovation was the carbon fiber monocoque. This survival cell around the driver is made from an incredibly strong and lightweight composite material. It's designed to absorb massive impacts while remaining intact, protecting the driver within. Rigorous crash tests became mandatory, and devices like the Hans head and neck support were introduced to prevent severe injuries. This era of safety coincided with the rise of Michael Schumacher and Ferrari, who created a dynasty of dominance in the early 2000s, winning 5 consecutive championships. The period was also defined by refueling during pit stops, adding another layer of strategy, before it was banned again, for safety and cost reasons. The sport had transformed from a high-wire act of survival to a showcase of cutting-edge safety engineering. Chapter 7. The Hybrid Revolution. In 2014, Formula One underwent its most significant technological shift yet. The roaring V8 engines were replaced by incredibly complex 1.6-liter V6 turbo hybrid power units. These aren't just engines. They are marvels of efficiency. They combine a traditional internal combustion engine with a sophisticated energy recovery system, or ERS. So how does ERS work? It has 2 main parts. The MGU-K recovers kinetic energy from braking, and the MGU-H recovers heat energy from the turbocharger's exhaust. This captured energy is stored in a battery and can be deployed by the driver for a significant power boost. These power units are the most efficient racing engines ever built, achieving over 50% thermal efficiency. For context, a typical road car engine is around 30–35% efficient. This era, dominated by Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton, became a battle of data, strategy, and energy management, with drivers and engineers making split-second decisions based on terabytes of telemetry. Chapter 8. The Return of Ground Effect. For 2022, Formula One introduced a radical new set of regulations with one primary goal: to allow cars to follow each other more closely and promote better racing. The solution was a return to an old philosophy, ground effect, but this was a modern, safer interpretation. Instead of skirts, the new cars feature 2 large underfloor tunnels, known as Venturi tunnels. These tunnels accelerate the air underneath the car, creating powerful downforce, with less of the turbulent, dirty air that disturbed following cars in previous eras. The initial challenge was a phenomenon called porpoising, where the cars would bounce violently on the straights, but teams quickly engineered solutions. This era has seen the rise of Red Bull Racing's dominance. It's also the first era governed by a strict cost cap, limiting how much teams can spend each year. The goal is to level the playing field and ensure the sport's long-term financial sustainability. Chapter 9. The Art of the Race Weekend. A Formula One victory isn't just won on Sunday. It's crafted over an entire weekend of strategy and precision. The format is crucial. Friday is for practice, letting teams dial in their car setups. Saturday is all about pure speed in qualifying, which sets the starting grid for the main event. Some weekends also feature a sprint, a shorter 100-kilometer race that adds extra excitement and points. During the race, drivers and strategists must master a complex language of flags. A yellow flag means danger ahead, slow down. A red flag stops the race entirely. A blue flag tells a slower driver to let a faster, lapping car pass. Strategy is paramount, especially with pit stops. A modern F1 pit stop is a masterpiece of choreography, with around 20 crew members changing 4 tires in under 2 seconds. That's a wow fact for you. Choosing when to pit and which tire compound to use can make or break a race. It's a high-stakes chess match at 200 miles per hour. Chapter 10. Icons, Rivalries, and Culture. Beyond the technology and the trophies, Formula One is a story of people. It's about the icons who push the limits, the smooth precision of Jim Clark, the incredible comeback of Niki Lauda, the 7-time title reigns of Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton, and the current dominance of Max Verstappen. It's about the fierce rivalries that define generations, like Hunt versus Lauda or Hamilton versus Rosberg. It's about the unique culture of each team, from the passionate Italian tifosi of Ferrari to the clinical efficiency of Mercedes. And it's about the global community of fans who share in the triumphs and heartbreaks, from the dirt tracks of the 1890s to the billion-dollar spectacle of today. The core pursuit has never changed. To build the fastest car, find the bravest driver, and be the first to cross that finish line. That's your snapshot of Formula One's incredible history. Class dismissed.